For the last decade, fast food chain Chik-Fil-A has had a no antibiotics ever pledge on its chicken, and it's gone. So Chik-Fil-A is citing supply chain issues, which likely has something to do with it. But this is part of a much bigger trend that isn't just about supply chain, as fast food chain Panera Bread has recently done the same. Loosen ingredient standards. I heard somebody say once that Panera Bread is upscale hospital food, and well, yeah, the bread is good, but you know. You also saw dirt merchant chicken distributor Tyson make the same move mid-year last year. No more no antibiotics ever. Apparently these companies don't know what ever means, but whatever. Because here's what it really is. First, the government spends completely recklessly into a untenable mountain of debt. Then the Federal Reserve Bank, to help service this debt and finance new government projects, prints and creates more money into existence. This additional money in the money supply creates inflation. Inflation is the rising prices as a result of more cash out there, more money circulating. More money circulating without an increase in output means that the prices of things go up because the demand goes up. You have more money chasing the same amount of goods. Couple that with reduced oil production, supply chain issues due to the mysterious airborne thing, and it's a recipe for disaster. So you don't drill and produce oil, so the price of oil goes up. You say that people that don't take a mysterious solution can't go to work. You force everybody to stay home and not spend their money in the economy and not go and produce things. That reduction of employees means less people manufacturing, less people managing the ports, less people being able to truck things into the country and around the country. You gum up the supply chain by all of these employment issues, these workplace precaution issues, etc. Limit the amount of people that can be at work, etc. Then you introduce all this new money supply to the economy, just circulate it, send people checks, and don't get it twisted, the left and the right both do this. Then, as corporations increase their prices, you have all these leftist serpents say things like, oh, the corporations, they're gouging you. This is price gouging. They shouldn't increase these prices. So the corporations, in response to the not being able or being demonized for increasing prices, which they have to do, even though a corporation and a business is one of their primary jobs is to reduce prices so that they can increase their sales volume, satisfy their customers, and take business away from their competition, even though people fail to just understand that basic fact. Well, if they can't raise prices, then they have to shrink the quantity of the items that they produce. This is what's now referred to as shrinkflation. So instead of an 8-ounce bag of chips, it's a 7-ounce bag of chips. Instead of 100 sheets on a roll of toilet paper, it's 89 sheets. So then Joey Basement comes out and says, oh, the corporations are gouging the people. You have to reduce the prices. So they don't increase the prices. So then they reduce the quantity. Oh, there's not as much Lay's chips in my Lay's chips bag. There's not as much Snickers in my Snickers. So then they demonize the shrinkflation. But if you can't increase the price and you can't reduce the quantity, the only thing left to do is reduce the quality, which means more fillers in your food, more seed oils in your food, more preservatives and garbage in your food so they have a longer shelf life, cheaper packaging perhaps that could leach other chemicals into the food, ingredients that are maybe not organic or maybe not sourced from a reliable place. Maybe the work standards and the factory cleanliness is good in, let's say, Mexico, but maybe you can get it cheaper and there may be not as stringent of work standards or not as clean of a factory in Guatemala. Or the simple idea of using, let's say, grass-fed beef versus corn-fed beef, or organic corn versus just normal corn, subsidized corn. If you can't increase prices and you can't reduce quantity, you have to reduce quality, which means a decreased quality of life for everyday citizens. And in a place that most people don't even see until much later, which is your health, which is really the most important thing there is. Somehow people fail to see the downstream effects of bloated, oversized, all too powerful, and money-squandering government and bureaucracy. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, and every single thing that they pretend they're doing has a much larger backfire, much larger collateral damage than the thing that they're pretending to fix, which they had a huge hand in creating in the first place. You squander money recklessly, both sides. You print more money into existence, increase the inflation, you demonize the increase of prices, you demonize corporations, you cripple those corporations' ability to do anything, ability to compete, you force them to reduce the quantity, and then you demonize that, it's going to be the quality next. Almost every single thing that the bureaucracy does, especially to fix a problem that it had a hand in causing, the solution is far worse than the problem itself. This is why Chick-Fil-A, Panera, Tyson Foods, and however many other companies that will soon, if they haven't already followed suit, will start having more antibiotics in the chicken, or start using less reliable and less quality suppliers, and our already garbage food supply will get even worse, which will put an even further strain on our healthcare system and the health and well-being of everyday Americans. Which goes to show that all the way downstream from bad bureaucratic policies is a loss in the quality of life for everyday Americans. Many of them don't realize it until it's too late.